I have had my own battle with my colleague. I am now going to have the next one with my guest here. So, Mr. John Sterling is a member of the PPP, and not some PPP people have been, capturing on the front pages of the papers. He's an executive member, and Honorable Timothy Atabwade is also former member of Minister North Constituency of Parliament, and he speaks for government as well. You're welcome, gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
And you, well, welcome once again.
Good morning to you.
Good morning to you. Mr. Sterling, how are you doing?
I'm very well.
You're
And yourself?
I guess. I'm
Sterling
fine.
is doing well, certainly.
Did you join the group that sent the suits to court, or the file the suits?
No, I wasn't around then, so I didn't join them. Yeah, it's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
Yes.
Why do you say that?
Hey, look, last time it was right here. First, good morning to all progressive-minded people out there watching the program. And I hope we are, listening carefully to what is going on around us. Yes, look, we have had this constitution for 22 odd years. And a constitution is not a static document, because we are all evolving as human beings. New things are coming up. We are discarding old ways of doing things and embracing new things, new ways. And so, in the same vein, our constitution also has to grow. It has to evolve. So there are issues there that we have to challenge at this point in time. And the only place to challenge it, if you are not a parliamentarian or you are not is to go to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court it has the legal mandate to look at the constitution and explain it if we don't understand something. So what we are doing is seeking clarification on this issue. We are not doing anything. I think that one is
25. The fee. We're trying to.
Article 25.
Yes, 25.
1B.
25 1E
1B.
1B.
So we're flipping through the Constitution of Ghana, and we have been going over this for some time now, since the debate on the free education actually began. The PPP has filed a suit against government that after 20 years and we have not been able to implement the FQ. It's very questionable. They want some explanation. Before I read what's in the Constitution, has FQ not been implemented?
No, it hasn't been implemented as is enshrined in the Constitution.
From the basic level?
Yes.
From the basic level?
From the basic level. It hasn't.
We know there's some, free tuition at least established.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
But it says free, compulsory, universal.
Basic.
Okay.
I just want to highlight on the compulsory and universal.
But put the basic there.
Oh, but the basic, we all know that we have to start
Well,
from
we know
basic
what basic
before
so
we go.
If you don't do that, you might be filing a case that.
You hit the rocks.
So,
Thank you for the legal advice.
Can you imagine? MP, anyway. So the article 25, we're trying to seek some help first before the courts also come to help us here. All persons shall have article 25, clause 1. All persons shall have the right to equal education opportunities and facilities, and with a view to achieving the full realization of that right. Article clause 1B says that A, basic education shall be free, compulsory and available to all. B, secondary education in its different forms, including technical and vocational education, shall be made generally available and accessible to all by every appropriate means, and in particular by the progressive introduction of free education. And higher education shall be made equally accessible to all on the basis of capacity, by every appropriate means, and in particular by progressive introduction of free education. D, functionality literacy shall be encouraged or intensified as far as possible. Well, this is just going forward some of the things that A requires, as FQ actually requires in its implementation. But that's not my topic for discussion today. I know the PPP has also made, some successes by going to court And also, I think filing a suit, similar one like that, or still on education. But that will be my topic tomorrow, and then we'll discuss into details what the education holds for us and these suits, what it's actually made for. The PPP says it wants some interpretation. So when you get the interpretation and you think that the government has faulted, what would you do?
Well, that would be for the moment. We don't know what the Supreme Court is going to say.
Would that be the fault of this particular government?
It wouldn't be, because the Constitution said that within 2 years of coming into office, that was 92, within 2 years of coming into office, there should be a plan, a 10-year plan in place to be implemented. So, what was the plan made?
And coming into force of the Constitution was which year?
92.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So 10 years down the line, how many years? At what? Yeah, in what year should we have had all this implemented?
We should have finished this thing in 2014.
2014.
No, not 20.
2012.
I'm making 20. No. 92 to 2004.
2004.
We should have finished.
Anyway.
Or even if we hadn't finished, it should have been in motion, really driving, because 10 years.
Right. So we'll have some legal assistance
years
on that today. But tomorrow, to go into this matter and give us the legal interpretation, maybe on this platform first, before the Supreme Court starts what it knows how to do best. So we are focusing on the economy today.
Give me a point a chance to comment. Why are you doing that? Is it because Sterling came and was frightening?
I should give you a chance to comment on this one.
Yes.
What do you want to see on this one? 1 minute, land.
You know, it must be said, like Sterling put it, when you look at the drafters of a constitution, normally they do it with the best intention for the people of the various countries for which they draft this thing. And for me, it is a good thing that the PPP has chosen to go to the Supreme Court for interpretation. One, for us to put to rest people who were parading on the corridors of seeking power and telling them free education is a concept today. They brought it, and that people should not even have the chance of even mentioning free education and so on and so forth. It's a good thing. We would monitor to see what happens. And like he said, it has been captured amply in our what do you call it, in our manifesto.
NDC manifesto.
NDC manifesto. Look at the first paragraph. Our program for 2013 to 2017 period covers basic education comprising early childhood care and development, primary and junior high secondary schools, blah 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 blah, as dictated by the 1992 Constitution. When you come down to this place, the 1992 Constitution does not make secondary education part of basic education system and is therefore not required to be made free immediately. On the contrary, it clusters secondary vocational and technical education together as secondary education and provides that there shall be progressive introduction of free education at that level in accordance with Article 25 of the 1992 Constitution. It goes on and on and on and on. I think the issue here is that we all, as we sit here, including all the political parties, would want a system where we are able to provide basic universal education to our people free of charge. But you see, one of the things I am foreseeing is that yes, the Constitution might give verdict in the case of what the PPP is seeking. But interestingly too, the issue of economic and finances will come into play, for which the interpreters of the article,
the requirements,
yes, would also have to bring on board. Interestingly too, the 1992 Constitution has virtually become like a political document from the pronouncements and so on. We are going to see, we are going to see how the ruling, the interpretation would juxtapose that with the economic wherewithal with the government to be able to implement these things and so on. So it's right, and it is good for us to test the provisions of the Constitution. If you don't test them, there's no any Constitution that is perfect in the world. It is when you start operationalizing it, then you begin to determine whether the phrases, the articles are really in tandem with our lives.
You know, that is why the PPP is not the Purpose Indians PPP, but it's for the progressive-minded persons. And you actually belong. Listening to you, you belong to the PPP. Actually,
I will not.
No, you
once
see,
it's progressive
mind.
No, once it's
a very progressive mind.
So actually think that the Constitution must not be made political. I mean, after the recommendations, maybe it will be made less political.
Let me tell my sister. Once it's progressive.
You see, if we continue this one, Honorable,
I agree.
This is 20,000. 2012 manifesto,
Yeah.
2012,
Yeah.
that is talking about what should have been done or what should have been started
Yeah.
in 92.
Yeah.
Seriously. Hasn't been done.
Yes.
And it is, and now you are looking, targeting
13,
2017.
17, yeah,
15.
between 2013 and 17. That's what our constitution says.
I just wanted to make a point.
Yes, it's
So,
a point.
all right,
But
so
in the
briefly,
fact that we
it's
have
a good
incorporated
thing.
in our constitution means that we have vision.
Well, it is good.
Than
It
those
is
who
good.
were
Sankofa,
those who were on
Sankofa,
platforms
Sankofa,
making
anybody.
like running riots
So it's a
and
good
falling
thing that we
from
are all
platforms.
fighting
And,
for the putting this book to good use as a constitution.
no, don't be mischievous.
Don't mind
Sometimes,
him.
you
Don't
know,
mind him.
who is claiming that free education is their idea? Who is?
It was their campaign
some people
message,
have
not
even
their
banned the
idea.
president. Some people have even banned the president from saying it. And the president should not even mention free education because he has stolen it
Who
from
won the
them.
president?
Some people, they say the president, why should the president mention free education?
Because we are saying
want
it
to
should
give
have
you
been in
water.
place already.
yeah, that's a different.
So
that's
it
a-
is-
Yes, I
it
agree
is-
with you.
it is-
and that is the
it
honesty
is-
Ayarga was talking about.
Drink
You
water.
have to be honest.
Was that?
You should drink water. From a greening Ghana jar. So we don't use plastics on the platform because we are helping
Wow, the MPV people not
to
coming.
green Ghana. So thank you. Huh?
If you are helping to green Ghana, you use paper, paper glasses.
Paper, this is recyclable.
Ah, that's a
That's
recyclable.
It's
and
recyclable.
The other one is degradable. This one is recyclable, which
Yeah.
is preferred.
This is
This
more
is better.
productive.
Why?
Because wood,
Because
we
you can
can
When
take
the
down
other
our
one- when the
forest.
other one is degraded, what it's going to do is going to add to the soil fertility.
Training
Now
and
we
pass
can-
on you.
we
I
shouldn't
will
be
move from
cutting
this-
the wood in the
Someone
first
will
place.
say, no, you're fine.
We shouldn't be
Thank
cutting
you.
the
We'll
wood
go
in
on.
the first
So
place.
we're talking. We're talking about the economy today, and
Even
issues are coming
Noah
up.
cut the wood and made the act.
Honorable, issues are coming up. Mr. Santekwa is supposed to appear before the House, that's the Parliament House today, to address the House on certain pertinent issues that these members actually have for the Finance Minister. But as I was actually picking on with Alfred, we're talking about statements that have been made by the Information Minister, which he actually claims, or he says, that he has been uncomfortable about the way the Finance Minister has been actually bringing out issues concerning the state of the economy. And some of the matters or statements that he makes it a bit difficult for them to even come defend government. My question is, what do you have to defend about? And some of these issues we'll touch on. The president has also been elected as the ECOWAS chairman. I think that the whole country, or even the president himself, was not expecting it. But oh boy, I'm not feeling that. I'm sure say no name that. Oh yeah, man, I feel like ECOWAS. Oh, please.
So these things are you
Yeah,
already know.
very,
so
very
you
diplomatic.
Prepare,
Oh,
you prepare
anyway.
your acceptance speeches and all.
Anyway, that was just by the way. He has been elected as the ECOWAS chairman. It came as a surprise for some of us because when he was going, we all expected that they are only going to talk about EPA, and he comes back and then we'll know our fate in that agreement. But then he came with another job to now not serve just Ghana, but serve the whole of Africa. I mean the whole of West Africa as well. How do you expect him to contribute to the growth, and what name do we want him to leave behind as president of Ghana? We also want a good name for the country. Now, MPs are also alarmed about serial killings that are happening